Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the 99th PGA Championship at Quail Hollow Club. Pleased to be joined by 2017 PGA champion Justin Thomas. Justin today posted a closing 3 under 68 to win the championship by 2 shots. His round today included 6 birdies, 3 bogeys, and a bunch of memorable moments. So, Justin, let's get to it. It's a dramatic closing round. Maybe tell us a little bit about your back nine and how you tackled the green mile after you got a little bit of a gap there.
Yeah, it was a crazy day. It had to be an unbelievable watching day in terms of spectating and sitting at home watching on TV. I mean, I forget what hole it was. I think walking up to 12 green, there was maybe 5 of us at 7 under, and I had no idea it was that close. I mean, I kind of thought it was Hideki and I were, you know, at around 7 or 8 or whatever he was, or 6 or 7, and then some other guys, and then I saw P. Reed was playing well. I saw Rick was kind of making a run. I saw Francesco was up there, and then obviously Kiz and Stroud behind us. So to see that was kind of crazy, and then that chip in on 13 was probably the most berserk I've ever gone on the golf course. I'm kind of interested to see how I looked for that, but yeah, it was nice. You know, I hit a bad tee shot on 14, but got out of there with a good par, and then you know, I hit a good little pitch after a chunk to 5-iron, and just missed the putt on 15. So I played 16, 17, 18 well all week, I felt like, and it wasn't like, I mean, obviously I'm nervous, I want to win, but I was a lot more comfortable and calm than I thought I would be. So just kind of going through those holes, knowing that, you know, I've done this a million times. I know that's cliche and everyone says it, but and Jimmy did an unbelievable job of keeping me calm. So it was felt like it was a great team win for us.
Now, your lineage is pretty well chronicled. Son of a PGA professional, grandson of a PGA professional. I have to think that this is a moment your family had been working toward for a long time.
Yeah, it was something that, I mean, obviously as a kid growing up being a golf fan, you want to win all the majors, you want to win any major. And for me, I mean, the PGA was definitely had a special place in my heart, and maybe a special drive, I guess you could say. Like I said, I want to win every tournament I play in. I want to try to win every major. But at the end of the day, this was really cool for me for this to be my first one and have my dad here. And I know Grandpa was watching at home. I was able to talk to him, and that was pretty cool. It's just a great win for the family, and it's a moment we'll never forget, all of us.
That's terrific. All right, let's hit the floor here for some questions, please. Let's start far right through the trophy, Justin. You got Steve, number 1, please.
Were you as in control of your emotions as you've ever been in tight situations, and what was the key behind all that?
I'm going to try to look at you the best I can here. I definitely feel like I was. I don't know. I just had an unbelievable calmness throughout the week, throughout the day. I hate to say, I mean, I hate to kind of admit this, but I'm never one to. I'm kind of superstitious and weird about the night before or when I get in contention about people saying stuff. And, you know, like, oh, let's go out and get it done tomorrow. Let's go do this. But I had just the most comforting, easygoing, and I really, truly felt like I was going to win. I mean, I remember, my girlfriend was supposed to fly out at about 7, and I was like, you know, you need to change your flight to later because I don't know. I just feel like I don't want you to miss this. And I feel like I'm going to get it done. And she knows she's the first person to tell you that I don't want to talk about golf when I get in that situation. So I don't know. I just was very confident. I mean, I'm sure my dad and Jimmy could tell you the same thing. I just didn't get flustered. I felt like I just kind of kept everything in front of me. I know how hard doubles are to make up out here, so I tried to avoid those, and was able to make a lot of birdies, so it was great.
Let's go over here on the left, number 2, please.
Justin, right here in the front. Yeah.
Sorry.
So how did you keep your composure after 1, which could have been a disaster?
Yeah.
And on 13, did you know that you were pretty much in the lead right before the chip in?
Yeah, 1 was bad. That was a bummer because I mean, obviously the first tee shot I would say is the most nervous a lot of us are in the day. I mean, that's a big moment. Second touch group. major. I have a great chance to win. And, I mean, I absolutely just blistered a drive. I picked up my tee. I thought it was perfect, and it was in the bunker, and it's like 350 to that bunker, and I didn't think I could get there. So I was a little bummed to walk up there and see that. But, I mean, I had an easy bunker shot that first one. I just didn't have a very good lie, and I was trying to kind of chunk and run it and obviously thinned it. But, I mean, I couldn't – through 4 shots on that hole, I pretty much couldn't have drawn up a worse start, you know, to my Sunday at the PGA Championship. But felt great with my putter all week. I stayed calm. I was like, you know, I can still knock this in, and if I don't, I have 17 more holes. It's not like this is a course where being 2 back, I had to go shoot 6 or 7 under. I knew that, you know, 2 or 3 under had a pretty good chance. So after rolling that in, it kind of calmed me down and kept me going. And then that chip on 13, I knew that there's a lot of us around the lead, and that first cut is so tough to chip. I mean, this entire course is tough to chip out of the rough, but that first cut you get, you can really look stupid in a heartbeat because it's all into the grain, and it's really short to where you can just flub it, you can hit it right in front of you, and then if you try to play for that, it can come out hot and you can run it by. So have that chip kind of come out perfectly and exactly like I saw, and that was a roar like I've never experienced.
Let's go to number 4, please.
Just right here. You had that moment with Ricky and Jordan coming off the 18th. What does it mean to you to have those guys, your friends, be able to kind of share in this experience with you?
It's awesome, and I think they know that I would do the same for them. It's a cool little friendship we had. I mean, I know Ricky was a couple groups in front, and Jordan was, you know, probably through 9 or something when I finished, but I just can't believe Bud Cauley stayed around. He's one of my best friends. You know, we lived together in Florida, and I was about 10 minutes from going to tee off, and he was walking off to go sign a scorecard. So he hung around for an entire 18 holes just to stick around and not knowing what could happen. So, but I think that kind of shows, you know, where the game is right now, where all of us are. I mean, we obviously all want to win. We want to beat the other person, but if we can't win, we at least want to enjoy it with our friends. And I think that we'll all be able to enjoy this together, and I know it's going to make them more hungry, just like it did me for Jordan at the British, or whatever you want to say.
Number 3 on the right, Doug, please.
There seems to be moments of good fortune for any major winner. I wonder if you could kind of go through the tee shot on 10 that bounced into the fairway and the putt that eventually fell. And secondly, the kind of the degree of difficulty on the up and down at 16 that really kind of put you in control.
Yeah, 10 was kind of funny. I was joking with Jimmy because I hit a drive. I mean, obviously I pulled that drive, but with me being able to take it over that bunker, I kind of need to skirt that tree to be able to get it up there and pretty far to you know, because it runs out in the right. So, and I hit a drive pretty similar on Friday, I think it was. I just pulled it. It was 3 or 4 yards left of the fairway, going to be fine. Hit that same tree and kicked about 30 yards in the trees. So I feel like that tree kind of owed me one. And to walk up, I talk to my ball a lot, and when anytime it's going somewhere I didn't wish it would, I probably am saying get lucky or something, and I said that in the air, you know, I'm like, get lucky, just spit it out for me, please, and it spit it out, and right in the middle of the fairway, and I told Jimmy that's why you ask, and and the putt was pretty funny too, just because I didn't even see it go in. I was more so looking at Jimmy asking how does that not go in, and because it looked like it was a weird read because the grain was in and off the right in the beginning. It looked like a pretty straight putt, and then the second half it was in off the right, or in off the left, sorry. So I kind of had it, I played it straight. We had it going a little left and a little right, and it just never went right. It kept going left. And as soft as it was going, I felt like the grain had to take it. And when honestly, I swear, when it got there, I was like, this ball has to go in. There's no way that it can stay there. And I threw a little fit to try to, you know, to see what would happen. And it just was, I was upset that I had a really easy up and down and maybe let the opportunity go. And yeah, the gravity took over, and the roar was pretty loud, so that was pretty cool.
Let's go to 1 right here. Karen, please.
Justin, in the phone call with your
Sorry. Okay, sorry.
The phone call with your grandfather, what did you say to him, and what did he say back?
He just said, yeah, you're something else, and this is the first of many. So I love my grandparents. I love my grandpa so much, and I've just spent so many times with him on the golf course, and he's watched me play and win so many junior golf tournaments. it would have been great if he could have been here. I mean, I understand he couldn't, and but I'm just glad that he could watch it, and we can share this together. And I know we'll have some fun, you know, when I see him again, hopefully soon.
Let's go 2 and then 3. 2, please, right here.
Justin, it may be a little awkward with him sitting in the front row, but how old were you the first time you beat your father on the golf course?
No clue. Neither one of us have no idea.
Was it, so it wasn't a big moment? It wasn't something?
It should have been, but for some reason, I mean, that's like something every kid remembers. But for some reason, neither one of us know when it was, and I know it doesn't happen anymore. That's for sure. He doesn't beat me anymore. But yeah, it was just something. Sorry, Dad. My bad.
Right there.
It just was. I don't know. For some reason, we don't remember.
Let's go on the right side here, number 3.
Hey, Justin, can you just sort of maybe talk about what emotions were like for you at Erin Hills after Sunday's disappointment, and what did you take away from that maybe you were able to do differently today and got you this?
I mean, the emotions were indifferent because, I mean, I didn't lose the tournament by any means. Brooks won it. Even if I would have played, I would have had to play just as well on Saturday or on Sunday as I did on Saturday to shoot 67 or better. I mean, it was windy. It was tough. It was a Sunday of a major, first time in the final group and a U.S. Open, let alone some great players trying to win. So, I mean, it was a bummer. I mean, I wish I would have played better and at least had a chance in the back 9, but it is what it is. And I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say I learned a lot because I just didn't really have a chance to win. You know, after 13 or 14 holes left, I was so far back that I just had to do something miraculous at that point. But I mean, anytime you can play and be there, you just learn little things without even knowing it. And just being patient, and I probably could have been more patient and finished, you know, 5th or 6th instead of 8th or 9th, whatever I finished. And I mean, I guess you could say patience, but it's about as, you know, I'd say every professional golfer would tell you that is very important, but you know, there's a reason we say it.
Straight ahead here, number 1.
Justin, you know, you've already won a few times this year. You've shot 59, you shot 63 at the US Open, but how do you feel you'll be talked about after this win?
Well, I know that a major champion will never be taken away from, you know, after my name, and hopefully it's, you know, hopefully I'm going to win some more, plenty more, a lot more, whatever, but I know you can't get to 2 unless you get 1, so I'm excited to have this, and it's incredible. It was an awesome day. It was a great experience. It's huge for me. I mean, who knows what'll happen, but I mean, it's just big for the year. You know, we're getting to the end of the year. We're getting to crunch time and in the FedEx Cup and the playoffs, and this puts me in a lot better position than I was before the week started. And I'm just excited for that, I'd say, more than anything.
Straight back 2, please.
Hey, Justin, congratulations. Do you care to share, I mean, on the outside we know it was a relief, but you care to go in detail on your feelings after making a putt on 17?
Relief was probably big. That was one of the best golf shots I've probably ever hit in my life. It's tough because when you get in those moments, that adrenaline, it's so hard to take something off of a club. I mean, I had 193 front, 214 hole to a pin that's really brutal, honestly, and I know anything short from the pin yesterday is going to fall off against the collar and, in all honesty, probably going to make bogey. Anything long is going to do the same thing, go up against that collar. And, I mean, at that point, I think I had a 1-shot lead, and it just was – I needed to make par. And, I mean, Jimmy and I decided I needed to land at about 200 just because that was going to – get past that first kind of false edge if I ended up pulling it, and that was going to kind of feed at least to get around 30 feet or so. And I mean, it's great. I hit a stock 2-iron or 6-iron at home, 200 yards, and I never even thought about anything but a 7. I'm like, it's just to aim it just inside the right edge of the green, put it back in the stance, and just swing at a 7 because it's not a position to try to finesse something. You know, you're pumped up, you're feeling it, you kind of not full bore, but you want to swing at something, and that was just, I mean, that shot, I'll never forget that vision in my head and it landing and getting closer, and when that putt went in, it was definitely relief.
Justin, let's go back left 4, please.
Justin, you talked about hole number 10 and the get lucky and the gravity taking over, but was the putt at 9 really kind of the springboard into your back 9? And I mean, sure, you got a little lucky there, but you were all at 10, but you were able to make the chip at 17 and then tee shot at 17. It seemed like it all kicked off with the birdie at 9.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I mean, I really, the birdie on 2, I mean, I hit a great putt for par on 3 that I still don't know how it didn't go in. And then I hit a great tee shot on 4, great putt that didn't go in, great tee shot, second shot on 5, great putt that didn't go in. I mean, I played 6 well, played 7 well. So it was, I mean, I had some chances on that front 9, but that's just, again, where I it's a tough course. You just have to, pars are fine. It's not like I was losing ground. I may have been, you know, losing a shot or whatever to the lead, but I mean, no one's going to run away from you at a course like this, or not likely. So I just was, Jimmy kept saying, you know, keep hitting our shots. You know, something good's going to happen. And you just sometimes get those feelings. And that putt on 9, I had a feeling I was going to make it, just kind of almost try to miss it left because it breaks so much right. And yeah, that I guess you could say that one springboarded me a little bit.